Hello dear students. So today in this session we will be continuing with real numbers chapter of 10th standard. So in the previous session we discussed about algorithm, lemma, Euclid's division algorithm, its application to find out HCF between two positive integers. We also solved a numerical problem on calculation of HCF using Euclid's division lemma. Okay. So before continuing with more numerical problems, let me just recollect what is Euclid's division lemma. So Euclid's division lemma states that given two positive integers a and b, there exist unique positive integers q and r satisfying a is equal to bq plus r such that r is greater than or equal to 0, less than b. So how to put that into statement format? So Euclid's division lemma. Let me keep it at this corner of the board so that it will be available throughout the session for our reference. Okay, so Euclid's division lemma. So Euclid's lemma. So what is the statement of Euclid's division lemma? So we can say A is equal to BQ plus R. The condition is that R is greater than or equal to 0, less than B. So this is our mathematical representation of Euclid's division lemma. So let us take a problem to think on how we can apply Euclid's division lemma to solve or to find out HCF between two positive integers. Okay, so the question says find HCF between two numbers 4052 and 12,576. So the question says, it's a simple straightforward question. Find the HCF between two positive integers 4052 and 12,576. What is our approach? See, before continuing with the solution, we know that for application of Euclid's division lemma, we should determine which is a bigger number of the given numbers. Correct? That is very important because here we have to observe that A is greater than B. This is also required. That means our first positive integer A must be bigger than our second positive integer B. So what are the given positive integers? So here I have been given numbers 4052 and 12,576. Now can you tell me which one is greater? It's obvious 12,576 is bigger than 4052. Therefore, I have to consider A as 12,576 and B will be 4052. I hope this is clear, correct? So once we have concluded this, we have to go ahead with simple our long division process and convert that into Euclid's division lemma mathematical format. So what do I have to do? 12,576 divided by 4052. So this should be under our working column. So see, since numbers are big and calculators are not allowed in your board exams, what should you do? You should make a calculated, educated guess. How can I do that? See, 4052, you consider the nearest round off number, let's make it as 4000. So if I make it as 4000, 3 times of 4000 is 12,000, correct? So 12,000 and next remainder will be 576, which is smaller than the given number. So obviously my number for division should be 3. That means if I take it as 3, 3 2s are 6, 3 5s are 15, 3 4s are 12. So if I go for next integer 4, the multiplication will exceed the given number 12,576. So if I subtract 6 minus 6 is 0, 7 minus 5 is 2, 5 minus 1 4, this is 0. So how to put this in Euclid's division lemma mathematical statement? So this becomes 12,576 is equal to BQ. So what is B in this case? 4052 multiplied by, what is Q? 3 times plus R, that is remainder is 420. I hope this is clear now. Next statement, next step, what should I do? I should check my remainder part, that is R part. So we have studied that we should continue with the Euclid's division process until remainder becomes 0, until R becomes 0. So in this case, we observe that R is not equal to 0. So then what should we do? We should move ahead with the remainder and the quotient. Correct? Remainder and the B part. So now my remainder becomes the divisor. Therefore, what will be the process? I should bring my 4052 over here. 4052. Now, can you guess what will be the next number? Again, let's make educated guess. 420. We can consider it as 400 roughly. Okay. What will be 410 times? It will become 4000. Similarly, 4200 times 10 times will become how much? 4200. Hence, 4200 will be bigger than 4052. So, I can say that my next number is 9 instead of 10. So, what will I do? 420 9s are. So, 429s are if I do, what will be my answer? 90 into 0. 9 2s are 18. Right? Then 9 4s are 36 plus 1, 7. Is it correct? Yes. So 420 into 9 is 3780. To this, if I subtract, I will be left with 2 minus 0 is 2. I have to take a carry from here to here. So 15 minus 8 is 7. I will be left with 9 here. 9 minus 7 is 2. 272. Again, I have to convert this into Euclid's division statement format. That means 4052 is equal to 420 into 9 plus 272. Correct? Next, what should I do? Again, if I check here, my remainder is not 0. But you observe, from step by step, my remainder is decreasing. That means we are approaching 0. This is one method or one short trick for you to check during examination whether you are following right method or not. See, from step by step, my remainder is reducing. If you have made any calculation mistake, mathematical mistake, then you will be able to make it from observation here. Okay, this is one short trick to ensure that you are following the proper method. So I should take next 272 will be my divisor. So I will have to take 420. So it is straightforward. It is 272. Ones are 272. Then 10 minus 2 is 8. 11 minus 7 is 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. 148. Again, converting it to lemma format, what will I get? 420 is equal to 272 into 1 plus 148. You please give an observation here again. From here to here, my remainder is reducing. But still remainder is not 0. So, this is very important for me. I should ensure remainder reaches 0. So now which numbers should I take? I should take 148 and 272. So if I take 148 and 272, so 272 divided by 148. Correct? 272 divided by 148. 272 and 148. These two numbers I have to take. Can I make 2 times? See, how to check that? Very simple. 148 you round it off to 150. 152 times is how much? 300. Bigger than this. So, next you do one more round off. That is 148 you convert it to lower side. 140. 140 into 2 is 280, still bigger than this. Therefore, 2 times is not possible. If you take 148 into 2. So, I will have to go for 148 ones are. So, 12 minus 8 is 4, correct? 6 minus 4 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, 124. So, what will be my lemma statement here? Can you make it out? So, 272 is equal to 148 into 1 plus 124. You observe my remainder has further reduced from 148 to 124. Next step, which two numbers should I take? 148 and 124. That means 148 divided by 124. This is a straightforward one. 124 ones are 124. 8 minus 4 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. Correct? Again, let us convert that into Euclid's format. So, I will get 148 is equal to 124 into 1 plus 24. Now, you observe remainder has reduced drastically. Am I clear till here? Yes? Next, which two numbers should I take? 124 and 24. So, 124 divided by 24. Now, you should do trial and error. So, let's take 6za. Why am I taking 6za? Because I have number here ending with 4. So, if I multiply and try with number 6, 6 4s are 24. So, I feel that, I might reach up to this number. So, if I do 24 6za, what will I get? 6 times. 6 4s are 24. Correct? 6 2s are 12 plus 2. No. It is crossing 124. So, I cannot go for this. So, I should go for one less. So, I have to go for 5. So, 5 4s are 20. 5 2s are 10 plus 2. So, still I am left with a remainder 4. So, I think I will be completing in my next step. How do I conclude that? See, if I convert this into lemma statement, I will get it like this. 124 is equal to 24 into 5 plus 4. Correct? Now you observe, next step I have to take 24 and 4, and it is clearly clearly understandable that 24 is a multiple of 4. So 4 6 are 24. So how will I end up with? So let me just write it here. I will write the statement directly, that is 24 is equal to 4 into 6 plus 0. Correct? 4 into 6 plus 0. So at this stage, when remainder becomes 0, the divisor at that step becomes the HCF. Correct? That is what we studied under Euclid's division algorithm. The step 3 of Euclid's division algorithm. What is that? The step in which the remainder becomes 0, the divisor of that step is the HCF. So, in this step, as remainder has become 0 and my divisor is 4, I can write that HCF of 4052 and 12,576 is 4. This is my answer. Is it clear? Yes? I hope I am clear with this solution. Let us solve few more solutions to understand better. Okay? Please note down this. Yes. So let us solve the next question. So please note down. It says show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3 where q is some integer. See, first point that we have to note down from the given question is that they are talking about integers. Okay, this is very important point that we have to observe. That means in this question we are dealing with integers only, and also they have said positive odd integer. So positive odd integer, what do you mean by positive odd integer? So positive odd integers, can you give me examples? Yes, the examples can be 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on. Correct? There are positive odd integers is of the form 4q plus 1, 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. So as you can observe in the given question, it says that show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3 where q is some integer. So this is the given information. Before going into proving this given statement, let us try whether I can put in some standard numbers into this format. How do I do that? See, in the both mathematical expression, you observe that my b is same, correct? This will be my b. I hope there is no doubt with this. Now, what should be my a? What should be a? And obviously, a should be greater than b. This we have studied. So let us take an example where a is greater than b. That is, we can say a is greater than 4. So let us take example a is equal to 5, which is greater than 4. And now let me try to apply Euclid's division lemma. What is that? In this given question, a is 5, then what is my b? B is from the given question as 4. So I have to do 5 divided by 4. 5 divided by 4. 4 ones are 4. Remainder is 1. Let me convert this into division statement. So it becomes 5 is equal to 4 into 1 plus 1. Now let's go back and compare this with the given statement. What is that? If I observe, this will be my A is equal to B into Q plus 1. Q is 1 in this case. That means I have converted the given number. What number? Positive odd integer in the form of 4Q plus 1. 4q plus 1. Did you understand this step? This is very important. Instead of going into mathematical solution directly, I am trying to understand this with help of an example. So what did we do? So we took an example of a is equal to 5. Why did I take 5 only? Because in the question it is mentioned that any positive odd integer can be expressed in the form of 4q plus 1. So from the given 4q plus 1, I have inferred that my b is 4. If b is 4, as per Euclid's division lemma, a should be greater than b. So I have taken immediate example, that is a is equal to 5, which is greater than b. So now I have done reverse calculation, that is a is equal to 5, b is equal to 4. Try to apply division process. 5 is equal to 4 ones are 4, remainder becomes 1. Convert that into statement. When I converted that into statement and observed, what did I get? I got a is equal to bq plus 1, where b was 4 earlier. So I can say I got answer for 5 as 4q plus 1, the general format. But in mathematics, you cannot take an example and prove it. Your proving statements should be applicable in general. So what do you mean by in general? Any positive integer I take and try to solve it, my statement should become true. So before going into statements, let's take one more example and understand this. So how do I take one more example? So let's understand with second example where I will take the number as 7. That is, I will take, so let A be 7. Why did I take 7? I took the immediate next number after 5. What number? It is positive odd integer. Correct? It is positive odd integer. Now, what is my B? B is equal to 4. Why am I taking B is equal to 4? Because it is given in the question. Now I will try to apply division lemma. So what will it become? 7 divided by 4. 4 ones are 4. My remainder is 3. See, observe this and observe this. Correct? So I will convert this into statement. How? My 7 is equal to 4 into 1 plus 3, or generally I can say 4q plus 3. That means I have replaced my 1 with its general representation, that is this 1 stands for quotient. So I can say A is equal to 4q plus 3. That means I have got one more alternative expression for another positive odd integer. So do you think there will be any other remainder? We have to prove it. So how can you continuously do this process taking integers? Next, so what will be next number? 9, next 11, 13. Can you go till infinity like this proving? So for that purpose only, we use mathematical expression to prove this. So what the question says, it says show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. So they are saying if I take any positive odd integer, it will come in the form of 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. There is no other format possible at all. So I hope I am clear with the examples. Now let us see how we can use Euclid's division lemma in form of statements and prove the given question. Okay, so first what we have to do, we have to say that one given integer for sure is our B. So given that B is 4, and you remember or recollect Euclid's division lemma, what did it say? It says, I'll just go into second part, satisfying A is equal to BQ plus R, where R is greater than or equal to 0, less than B. So observe, the beauty of this question is, you know what is B. That means your remainder should be greater than or equal to 0 or less than 4. It cannot be any other remainder, correct? So if this is the case, then what are the possible R values? I can say it can be 0 as there is equal sign here. It can be 1, it can be 2, or it can be 3. It cannot be 4 because it says R less than 4. I hope I am clear till this stage, correct? So before going into the statement, let me just say, or just let's revise. So it said 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. So based on this understanding, what can I say? I can write it as 4q plus 0 or 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 2 or 4q plus 3. Am I right? Only these are the possibilities. Because what have I done? I have taken remainders and substituted in the standard Euclid's division lemma. 4q plus 0 plus 4q plus 1, 4q plus 2 or 4q plus 3. But can it be 4q plus 0 and 4q plus 2? Think this. Can it be 4q plus 0 or 4q plus 2? Why am I asking this question? Why is this question relevant? The reason is, the question says positive odd integer. Positive odd integer. So what do you mean by an odd integer? When a number is divided by 2, if the remainder is not 0, it will be an odd integer. So take an example. Divide 4 by 2. it gives answer as 0, so it is an even number. Divide 3 by 2, it leaves remainder as 1, it is an odd integer. So that is a simple definition, that is divide any given integer by 2, if it leaves remainder 0, then it is an even integer. If it does not leave remainder as 0, then it is an odd integer. So any number having 0, adding 0 or 2 will get converted to even number. Let's understand this again with an example. So let me give an odd number, 5. You add 2 to that, it becomes 7, which is an odd number. Now, is 5 a multiple of 4? No. So I have to take an example where this is multiple of 4. Why? I have q multiplied by 4. So take example of 8. 8 can be written as 4 into 2. So if I add 2 to 8, what will it become? 10. That is 4 into 2 plus 2 becomes 10. So it is an even integer. Therefore, any odd integer will not satisfy this condition. So we can say that any positive odd integer will be represented in form of 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3, where q is another integer. Okay, I hope I am clear with this. Any doubts you can ask me. Yes? So this is a statement kind of problem. Okay? Let me just scroll through from beginning once more. See the question, from the question we can observe, say I have given the question on the board. So from the question we can observe that it says integers. What type of integers? Positive odd integers. What are the examples for positive odd integers? 1, 3, 5, 7. But the question is asking us to prove that positive odd integers can be in the form of 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. So now I should decide, can I represent 1 and 3 as 4q plus 1, which is not possible because my A should be greater than B. Therefore, for this question, my A should start from 5. That means it should be greater than 4. That means for this kind of question, my A will be 5, 7 or 9 or 11 and so on. So we are trying to prove that with an example. Before going into mathematical statement, we are trying to understand with an example. What is that? A is equal to 5, then B is equal to 4. Applying Euclid's division process, 5 divided by 4 is 4 ones are 4, remainder is 1. Converting that into statement, it gives me 5 is equal to 4 into 1 plus 1. That is A is equal to BQ plus 1. So we can observe that from 1 it is in the form of 4q plus 1. That means my odd integer 5 is represented in form of 4q plus 1. Then we took one more example to understand 4q plus 3 part. That is, we took 7 as A. My B is 4 because from the question itself B is 4, it is fixed. I cannot change that. So 7 divided by 4, again leaving me remainder 3. So I have observed that 7 is represented in form of 4q plus 3, which is given in this question. So how will it continue? Alternately. That means you can observe after 7 comes 9. 9 when I represent it as 4 into 2 plus 1. Alternately, it will be 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. Go to 11. 4 into 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So remainder is 3. So 4q plus 3. So alternately, the positive integers will shift from 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3 representation. Now coming to mathematical statements. How do I do that? So I took B is 4. Now Euclid's division lemma states that R should be greater than or equal to 0, less than B. That means my R for this question can be 0, 1, 2, 3 because my B is 4. So if my R is 0, 1, 2 or 3, I can write statements as 4q plus 1, sorry 4q plus 0, 4q plus 1, 4q plus 2 or 4q plus 3. But 4q and 4q plus 2 represent even numbers, correct? So I have removed those two representations. So whatever left, which are 4q plus 1 and 4q plus 3, are the representation for positive odd integers. Okay, fine. Why I am stressing on this is because these kind of questions will be asked in board exam and they will come out with different types of representations and ask you to prove. But the methodology or the steps to follow is same. Okay, fine. Please note down. Before going on with the next questions, let us take a very simple question. As you have observed in the previous question, I said that any number divisible by 2, perfectly divisible by 2, is an even integer, and which leaves a remainder when divided by 2 is an odd integer. That means, for example, 4 divided by 2 gives us remainder as 0. Therefore, 4 is an even integer. 5 divided by 2 leaves remainder as 1. Therefore, it is an odd integer. So, let's observe that from Euclid's division lemma point of view. So, I have given this question on the board. So, it says, show that every positive even integer is of the form 2q and that every positive odd integer is of the form 2q plus 1, where q is some integer. What is that? Let us try to analyze. They said positive integer can be represented in the form of 2q, whereas positive odd integer can be represented as 2q plus 1. Positive even integer can be represented as 2q. Positive odd integer can be represented as 2q plus 1. How to go about with the analysis? So let us say, assume, let a be an integer. So if a is an integer, I should show that if a is positive integer, it can be represented as 2q. If a is an odd integer, it can be represented as 2q plus 1. So how should I move about? I should say, what is b? B is 2. Why? It is given in the question indirectly. I have to take this data from the given question. It says b is equal to 2. So now use Euclid's division lemma statement. What is that? I can say now that a is equal to 2q plus r, where r is greater than or equal to 0, less than 2. Correct? Let me remind you, what is the statement? Satisfying a is equal to bq plus r, where r is greater than or equal to 0, less than b. Therefore, I can say a is equal to 2q or a is equal to 2q plus 1. Why? Because r can take values 0 or 1 from here. That is our conclusion. So if a is equal to 2q or a can be 2q plus 1, here this is nothing but multiples of 2. Any multiple of 2 is an even integer. That's what you have studied. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6. See, multiples of 2 is even integer. So therefore this represents even integer. Then what would this represent? An odd integer. How do I conclude this? Because this part 2q is nothing but my even integer. To an even integer, if I add 1, it gets converted to odd integer. Let's understand this. You take an example of number 16. So 16 is an even integer. I can write it as 2 into 8 to 16. If I add 1, it becomes 17. That means the number got converted to an odd integer. So adding 1 to an even integer gets converted to odd integer. Understood? Fine. So let me just run it quickly again. So the question said that for any given positive integer can be represented in the form of 2q, and any positive odd integer can be represented in the form of 2q plus 1. You have to show this, you have to prove that. So what did we do? So we assumed first. This is a general procedure for this kind of question they ask in board exam. That means you have to say let a be an integer. Okay. Then b is equal to, the number should be taken indirectly from the given question. That is, it is in the form of bq plus 1. So my b will be equal to 2. So b is equal to 2. Convert that into Euclid's division lemma expression. A is equal to 2q plus r. Now use the condition given in the division lemma. That is r greater than or equal to 0 less than b. That means r greater than or equal to 0 less than 2. Therefore my r can be 0 and 1. Do the back substitution in the expression. I get a is equal to 2q plus 0, which is 2q, or a is equal to 2q plus 1. Now you have to make the conclusions. So a is equal to 2q. 2q is nothing but multiples of 2. Therefore, it has to be an even integer. A is equal to 2q plus 1. To an even integer, I have added 1, thereby converting it into an odd integer. Therefore, the statement is any even integer can be represented in the form of 2q, and any odd integer can be represented in the form of 2q plus 1. I hope now this is clear to you. Please note down this. Yes. Now let's move on to exercise 1.1 of your NCERT textbook. Exercise 1.1. Okay. So I have given the first question over there. It says use Euclid's division algorithm to find the HCF of. Okay. So they have given three questions. I will be solving only the second and third one. Oh, I will be solving only the second one. You guys have to take first part and third part as your homework. This is my first assignment for today. So that is first question, second subpart. First question, second subpart says find out HCF between 196 and 38,220. 38,220. So now I have to make a very simple conclusion that 38,220 is obviously greater than 196. So I have to now see, now I will be writing Euclid's division statements directly. Okay. So 38,220 should be equal to BQ plus R. So what is my B? 196 into quotient. How do you find quotient? So you should do actual division. So 196 10 times is 1960. Very, very lower than 38,220. Let me say 196 into 100. What do you get? 19,600. Still it is smaller than this. So how do I try to find out what should be my quotient? You try this converting it into 200, as I said earlier. 200 into 20 times becomes how much? 200 into 20 times is 40,000, which is little bigger than this. Therefore, my 196 into somewhere 200 times gives me near to this value. So I should do by trial and error only. Okay. So I will, so in this case you have to do trial and error and find out. It comes 196 into 195 times. You guys can try it out. 196 into 195 times. How? Let's check. 196 into 195. 5 6 are 30. 5 9s are 45 plus 3 48. 5 1s are 5 plus 4 9. Correct? Next 9 6 are 54. 9 9s are 81. 81 plus 5 86. 9 1s are 9 plus 8 17. 1s means I should write 196 as it is. So 0, 12, 10 plus 12, 22, 9, 11, 18, 38, 220, 38, 220. So what does it mean? It means this is 0. My answer is solved in first step only. Very simple for me. Correct? So now tell me what is HCF. Therefore HCF is HCF of 196 and 38 220 is 196 only. Because whatever is the divisor at the step where remainder was 0 becomes my HCF. Therefore, 196 is the HCF. Understood? So shall we move on to next question? Yes. So I will take question number 2. So I have displayed question number 2 on the board and I will read out also. It says, show that any positive odd integer is of the form 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5 where q is some integer. So this resembles the questions we solved earlier, correct? So it says any positive odd integer. So what should be my first idea? They said about positive odd integer, right? Yes, positive odd integer. They said positive odd integer. They are saying in the question that positive odd integer can be represented in the form of 6q plus 1, 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5. This is what you have to show. So, as I told earlier, what is my procedure? I will say let A be any integer. Correct? Next, I should say what is B? From the given question, I can say that my B is 6. Therefore, I can say A is equal to 6q plus R. But from division lemma statement, R should be greater than or equal to 0 or less than 6. Therefore, what will be my R? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means my A can be equal to 6q or A is equal to 6q plus 1 or A is equal to 6q plus 2 or A is equal to 6q plus 3 or A is equal to 6q plus 4 or A is equal to 6q plus 5. Correct? Here now I should try to limit and remove which are not applicable to my question. It says positive odd integer. And my 3 given expressions find place here. Where is that? See, 6q plus 1 is present here. 6q plus 3 is also present. 6q plus 5 is also present. Now I should try to eliminate the other 3. How do I eliminate? I cannot simply cross off. I should give proper reasoning to that. Why I am crossing off. So how do I do this? A very simple way is by observing 6 part. So what can I say? I can represent 6q as 2 into 3q. Correct? I can say 6q as 2 into 3q. That means 3 into quotient. This part also gives me another quotient. I can say it as k. For example, in a given question, my quotient was 3. By multiplying 2 to 3, it is becoming 6, but still it is a quotient only. So I can say, or I can rewrite this as 6q is equal to 2k, where k is equal to 3q. See, I am just doing mathematical modification. I am not changing any equation. That means I am taking a bigger number and trying to represent it in form of smaller number. What did I do? I took 6q, made it as 2 into 3 into q, where 3q I clubbed and represented it as another constant k. That k is also a quotient only. So I can say 6q is equal to 2k. Okay. So let me observe now. So if I represent 6q as 2k, where k is 3q, that we should keep in mind, because 2 into 3 into q is 6q. It is called substitution. So now my a has become 2k. Now here you observe a has become 2k plus 1. Here you observe a has become 2k plus 2. Here a becomes 2k plus 3. Here a becomes 2k plus 4. Here a becomes 2k plus 5. But just few minutes back we studied 2k, or this form represents an even integer, correct? Even integer. To 2k, if I multiply 3, also it is an even integer because 2k, k is nothing but 3 cube. So as I am going for a bigger number doesn't mean my representation has changed. My bigger number, I have represented it in a smaller format by making a substitution k is equal to 3 cube. So if 2k is representing an even integer, 2k plus 2 also should represent even integer, because again I said to an even integer, if I add 2, it becomes an even integer. Again, this also, to an even integer if I add 4, again it becomes an even integer. So I have to rule out these three. That means my a is equal to 6q is representing an even integer. My a is equal to 6q plus 2 is representing an even integer, as well as a is equal to 6q plus 4. I hope this is very clear. How to make analysis. Okay. Now let's observe the other three parts. What are we left with? We are left with a is equal to 6q plus 1 has come out as 2k plus 1. Now 2k is even integer. To that if I add 1, it becomes odd. That is way of converting even integer into odd integer. Similarly, a is equal to 2k plus 3. 2k is even number. If I add odd number to even number, we have earlier classes studied that if I add odd number to even number, it becomes an odd number. Take 4 plus 3 is 7, which is odd number. Same way, a is equal to 2k plus 5 is also odd. So 2k plus 1 is representing 6q plus 1. 2k plus 3 is representing 6q plus 3, and 2k plus 5 is representing 6q plus 5. Therefore, we can conclude that any positive odd integer can be represented in the form of 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5. Let me just quickly revise this. Okay, quite important question. Okay, let me say the question. So question says, it's observed, you can observe on the board also I have given, show that any positive integer is of the form 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5. So what is the procedure that we followed? We said let a be any integer, b is 6, we took it from the given question. Then we try to convert that into Euclid's division lemma expression, a is equal to 6q plus r. But using the condition of lemma, we say r should be greater than or equal to 0 but less than 6. Therefore, r is equal to 0 or 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, converting that into statements. Next comes the most important step where we make this substitution. 6q can be written as 2 into 3q, but I am clubbing 3q. Since 3q is also a constant number, I am just replacing 3q as by a variable k, so that my analysis becomes simpler in form of smaller numbers. So 6q becomes 2k where k is equal to 3q. So I have not changed any mathematical expression. It remains the same. How do you verify? You substitute k is equal to 3q, you will get back the LHS. Okay, so I did the substitution and I got it as a is equal to 2k, a is equal to 2k plus 1, a is equal to 2k plus 2, a is equal to 2k plus 3, a is equal to 2k plus 4, a is equal to 2k plus 5. Now in this I started eliminating. How did I eliminate? I said a is equal to 2k is an even integer based on our previous conclusions. Then if to 2k, if I add 1, it is becoming an odd integer. So 2k plus 1 is odd. To 2k if I add 2, it is even. So I am eliminating, because any even integer if I add another even integer, it is an even integer. Next, 2k plus 3. To an Even integer, if I add odd number, it is becoming odd. So I have taken it out. Next, 2k plus 4. To an even integer, if I add even integer, it results in even integer. So again, I am eliminating. 2k plus 5. To an even integer, if I add odd integer, it becomes odd. So of the 6 representations I got, a is equal to 6q plus 1, 6q plus 2, 6q plus 3, 6q plus 4, 6q plus 5. I have eliminated 3 which do not satisfy the condition, and I am left with these 3. Therefore, we can say any positive odd integer can be represented in the form of 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5. I hope this is clear. Please note down. Hello? 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 So, this was our third session on real numbers. I will be closing the session here. If you have any doubts, please let me know and I will clarify. And from the next session, we will continue with more exercise question answers also. And I have uploaded the assignment in our Buttonbud Tutorials app. Please go there, and as I told in my first session, you have to submit the assignment in 1-day deadline. That means by tomorrow evening, when I come back to your class, I need all the assignments submitted. Okay? Thank you for attending session, students.